Well, hello, hello, hello. This is the very first episode of the Dr. Harley Quinn No Budget Super Show. So, if you're wondering why I called it that, it's because there's not going to be any budget. And this is the pilot, because I'm going to try to figure out how this shit works. You see, my court-appointed therapist said I probably should look for someone else to talk to, and making friends in real life just seems too much of a hassle. So after watching a lot of the Dabbleverse content for the past couple of years, I noticed that we have like Kevin Brennan and what's it, Ray Dorito or whatever, and they like to sit in their floor by like a dresser and a door. So I thought, well, if two can play that game, then I can. Two can play one more with three. So as you can see, this is an authentic door. It has a door knob. Oh, well, it's not a knob. It's a door stick opener. And so yeah, I just wanted to let you all know that there's no door scam going on here. Uh, so I don't really know what to talk about, so I'm just gonna riff, and there might be like 1 or 2 seconds of entertainment value in this. One of the things that I want to talk about whenever I have a kind of a general idea of what the hell's going on is I kind of wanted to draw like an outline of the Dabbleverse. Now let me get on my radiation protective gloves because with 5G and all that and my mild skin condition, I just don't need any more problems. So let me just a second here. Uh, but yeah, I thought it was interesting that if you break it down and you start from the top, like all this loony Dabbleverse, it starts with Howard Stern. He's basically your all's Lord and Savior. Either you know it or you don't. Now, directly underneath him is the center of the Dabbleverse, which is, Stuttering John, who can't make a dollar to save his soul, but everybody that makes content about him can make a ton of money, or at least some money, at least fast food money, more money than working at fast food even. Um, but going back to the top, there's Howard Stern, and then there's like not really connected to the Dabbleverse, but we'll just call them like the Archangels, like the mega popular podcasters that can never be touched and will probably never be taken down in any way, shape, or form, like your Joe Rogans, your Tom Segura's, and your, Bert Kershers. And then just underneath those are those like, oh, those cringy ones. Like, what was that one called? The Boy and the Kid or something like that. Whatever. Anywho, now back over here, so we get back to this Dabbleverse thing. So Stuttering John basically gave birth to Who Are These Podcasts? And then Who Are These Podcasts kept badgering Shuley into like making a response to all the stuff that Stuttering John said. Now that's when the floodgates really opened. And now it seems like everybody has a podcast about that Stuttering John dude. I never heard of what is that one called? The Enlow guy, the Onion guy. I never heard of him in my life. And then just one day out of the blue on, I think, like the BS show, they were talking about this Patrick Melton guy like he's always been there. Like, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He seems really mad. Uh, and then, same with, Kevin Brimley. Who the fuck is this guy? But then I at least, had some general understanding from Compound Media. So on and so forth. And then as you keep trickling down, then you have like the lesser known shows, and then us, the chat. And then even the chat has like the hierarchy. You have the, and they're really creative and they're really funny. They're the high rollers. You see them donating money every episode, and I'm not trying to like throw any shade or anything like that towards them. But they, you see like the same names every episode. The Dave Dafflers and the other Dave Chandlers and Gina Bobinas and so on and so forth. And then you have, you just kind of go down that line and you're like, oh, well, I've seen that Dr. Harley Quinn name before. And so now there's me. So this is where you're at in the dabble version. You're down to the not high rollers, not mid rollers, the low rollers that seem to not really know which way the sun shines. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. One of the people in the dabble verse I wanted to bring up that's gotten some press lately, none of it good, is Rob Saul. I have a theory about Rob Saul that I'd like to share. It's like, when those of you that think about him, they're mad at him. He just all of a sudden made these accusations. The short version of it, he had a little bit of he had some momentum going, I guess you would say, with some of the stories that, coming out of his camp. Like one with his, dog getting jerked off by his neighbor. His neighbor who, if whenever I have any know-how of this stuff, I would throw up a picture. If you go back to that episode of his show and you look at the picture of his neighbor, well, not that episode, the following where he did an interview, his neighbor looked like if a Klingon and the Predator gave birth to like crazy alcoholic crackhead lady. But he had some momentum going there, and he thought, I don't know if he had discussions, but it seemed to me like he thought he might be getting a show. And then that didn't pan out at all. And after a couple of weeks of that, then all of a sudden it was like, boom, it's like, that's universe, they're by views, none of the views are real, they're all fake. Now, as a fan of, I guess, everybody, I guess I could say what I think from that. Who the fuck cares? No one cared. Even if it was proven to be real, like, I've got all this insurmountable proof. I've got fucking food trucks. I got dead raccoons. I've got everything that's going to prove that these views are fucking fake. These views are fucking fake. They're not fucking real. No one cares because the people that, if they are fake, the people that are watching in the chat that donate every episode, the shows are entertaining. It doesn't matter. You can say they're fake all you want. It's not like they're a publicly traded company. And this isn't to pick on Rob Saul. I think he's got some problems, but I don't think the problems are what any of us think. I think Rob Saul that you see is an imposter. I have proof that this isn't the same Rob Saul. The person you've seen ever since Fake Viewergate has been, he's a bad guy. He's an evildoer. He's from Earth 45-C. You see, he comes from an alternate timeline, a different universe. So basically a rift opened. And there was an involuntary swap of two people. there was Rob Saul from this universe, beloved. People love this guy. I can prove it. This is why I have my screen set up like this. I'm going to prove that they are two different people. So I'm going to lower this and do this with my clicky. Now looky right here. Look at this picture of Rob Saul. This screen grab from an intro of Levy Land from a while back. Look at that. He's got a nice sports coat on, a nice shirt, great hair, expensive sunglasses, just a nice smile and good facial hair. Look at him. He looks like just a nice looking young man that has the whole world in front of him. Now let's click on this right here. What the fuck is that? I don't know what the fuck that is, but that ain't Rob Saul. That's Roy Salt from Earth 45-C. Roy Salt is also known as Roy Slaw, also known as Coleslaw Man. Now, you haven't heard of him, but I have because, I too am not from here. Coleslaw Man is known in that universe as being just a low-level bad guy. He robs banks. He has a terrible catchphrase like, "You just got the slaw," and he has this ice cream scoop and he slings this radioactive coleslaw at the police so he can steal money for his coleslaw-related illegal activities. But somehow or another, these two people got switched. So everybody that is mad at poor Rob Saul is mad at the wrong person. That motherfucker right there on the screen is Roy Salt, Coleslaw Man, not Rob Saul. So I think we need to band together to see what we can do to save our Rob Saul and bring him back to our universe. And, well, that's about it for the first episode of the Dr. Harley Quinn No Budget Super Show. I hope you enjoyed.